unexploded munitions. Imagine walking through a peaceful forest, the sunlight reflecting off the lush green foliage, and the serenity of nature all around you. As you tread carefully along a well-worn path, the tranquility is shattered by an unexpected, bone-chilling discovery. Half buried in the earth, barely visible, lies a corroded relic of a bygone era. A deadly, unexploded World War II bomb. Its potential for destruction dormant, but far from extinguished. It's a stark reminder that even in the most idyllic of settings, the past's horrors can haunt us in the present. While World War II ended over 7 decades ago, its shadow still looms over our world in a way that many fail to comprehend fully. Amid the grand narratives of victory and reconstruction, an insidious and often forgotten legacy remains buried beneath the surface, hidden in plain sight. These are the unexploded munitions. Bombs, shells, and landmines left scattered across continents, waiting for an unwitting hand or a misplaced step to trigger their destructive potential. The very weapons designed for wartime chaos have, in post-war years, continued to inflict casualties, disrupt lives, and ravage the environment. In this video, we'll delve into the shadows of history to illuminate the ongoing and underappreciated dangers posed by unexploded World War II munitions. We'll consider some real-life examples of places around the world where these hidden menaces continue to lurk. World War II stands as a testament to the industrial-scale warfare of the 20th century, and its arsenal reflected in the destructive capabilities of the era. There was an array of deadly munitions used during the conflict. From high-explosive bombs designed to devastate cities to incendiary bombs that ignited firestorms, the airborne bombardment during the war was relentless. Even decades later, unexploded bombs are unearthed, remnants of aerial campaigns that once shook the world. Landmines buried beneath the dirt were deployed to deny the enemy access to strategic locations. The war saw the widespread use of anti-personnel and anti-tank landmines, many of which persist today, silently endangering those who stumble upon them. Artillery shells of various calibers and payloads were unleashed on battlefields across the globe, and many of these shells failed to detonate upon impact, their unstable components buried in the soil, poised to explode at the slightest disturbance. The longevity of World War II munitions as unexploded relics can be attributed to several factors. In some cases, the munitions fuses malfunctioned or were improperly set, leading to failures in detonation. And over time, these fuses can become even more unstable, increasing the risk of delayed explosions. The munitions components, including explosives and detonators, can deteriorate due to exposure to moisture, temperature fluctuations, and chemical reactions with the surrounding soil. This deterioration may render the munitions more sensitive to disturbance. Munitions buried deep in the ground during combat might not have encountered enough force upon impact to trigger their detonation mechanisms. As the Earth shifts over time, these buried munitions can be brought closer to the surface, increasing the likelihood of accidental discovery. Ukraine. On the morning of June 6, 2023, a large part of the Kakhovka Dam was destroyed during the ongoing conflict in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. As the waters receded, an array of munitions were exposed on the previously submerged mudflats. Amidst the muck and silt, remnants of modern air defense missiles, the kind exchanged in hostilities between Russia and Ukraine, coexist with far older munitions from World War II, when the Ukrainian lands bore witness to the fierce clashes between Soviet and Nazi forces. Ukraine's Ministry of Internal Affairs, in an announcement compelling civilians to steer clear of the receding reservoir, disclosed that the region has yielded an unsettling collection of wartime artifacts. Unearthed from the depths of the Kharkovsky Reservoir are not only ammunition from recent conflicts, but also relics dating as far back as the Second World War. These waters, according to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, are tainted with a lethal inventory of ammunition, necessitating controlled explosions to defuse the lurking danger. Oleksandr Chechko, the leader of the Ukrainian demining team, told Reuters that their recoveries included remnants of formidable weaponry, such as S-300 surface-to-air missiles and Smerch rockets, weapons capable of inflicting substantial damage. The ancient armaments discovered in the area serve as reminders of Ukraine's harrowing past. The region bore the brunt of intense combat during World War II, marked by the Soviet drive to reclaim territory from Nazi occupation. The Battle of Dnipro, a brutal confrontation lasting nearly 4 months, witnessed nearly 2.5 million Red Army troops who were determined to recapture lost ground. And ultimately they prevailed, but at a staggering cost in lives. Intriguing yet unsettling stories have surfaced on social media, albeit unverified, featuring videos and images of skulls unearthed from the mud. This region, however, remains perilous due to the presence of unexploded ordnance and the remnants of Russian shelling, complicating any efforts by officials and journalists to authenticate these disturbing discoveries. Germany. Almost 80 years have passed since the ravages of World War II subsided. Yet Germany still grapples with an unsettling legacy: the unexploded munitions that lurk beneath its soil. This hidden danger, remnants of a wartime bombardment campaign, resurfaces with unnerving regularity, posing threats to life, construction, and daily routines. Between 1940 and 1945, the US and British Air Forces dropped an astonishing 2.7 million tons of bombs over Europe, half of which fell upon Germany. These devastating strikes left a trail of destruction, crippling the Third Reich's industrial infrastructure and reducing cities to desolate landscapes. As Allied forces occupied Germany, reconstruction efforts commenced. However, the ominous specter of unexploded ordnance remained beneath the rubble. Up to 10% of bombs that were dropped had failed to detonate, leaving behind a ticking time bomb of epic proportions. The responsibility to disarm these deadly relics, alongside clearing countless hand grenades, bullets, and artillery shells left behind after the war, fell upon the shoulders of police bomb disposal technicians and firefighters. Even in the present day, the threat endures. Germany faces the chilling reality of unearthing over 2,000 tons of unexploded munitions annually. But before any construction project, from home extensions to the national railway network's track laying, the ground must be certified as munition-free. Nevertheless, in recent history, entire areas have been evacuated to remove bombs discovered during construction. These incidents underscore the ever-present danger, like the 20,000 people evacuated in Cologne due to a 1-ton bomb discovery. Tragically, the menace doesn't merely disrupt daily lives, it claims lives too. Since the year 2000, 11 bomb technicians have lost their lives in Germany while attempting to defuse these remnants of conflict. How long do you think it'll be before Germany is completely bomb-free? Let us know what you think down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Micronesia. Micronesia, a tranquil paradise in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, holds a hidden peril, an enduring legacy of World War II. As the global conflict raged on, these atolls and islands became the focal point of intense military development, extensive combat, and relentless bombardment. So when the dust of battle settled, Micronesia's serene landscapes concealed a dangerous secret: unexploded Japanese ammunition and US ordnance, remnants of the Second World War. The aftermath of the war left behind a haunting reality: thousands of tons of unexploded munitions littering Micronesia's soil. Both Japanese and Allied forces had established permanent and temporary military bases across the islands, amassing vast quantities of ammunition. These weapons, from small arms cartridges to formidable coastal defense and naval gun shells, were stored in concrete bunkers, open bomb dumps, and ammunition-ready magazines. While some of this ammunition was expended in defense, much remained unscathed as the war's fury left the guns that were meant to fire them inoperable. So you may be wondering, what was the result? A perilous landscape where unexploded ordnance from both Japanese and US forces continues to pose a deadly threat. The question of ownership of these wartime remnants carries significant implications. While some munitions may be considered harmless and encountered in archaeological or historic contexts, others remain alive and perilous threats. The conundrum persists in balancing the preservation of these pieces of ordnance, whether harmless or hazardous, with the need for safety and the protection of heritage sites. The condition of unexploded Japanese ammunition, crafted from inferior alloys due to wartime shortages, poses unique challenges, and the highly corrosive climate of Micronesia accelerates the deterioration of these munitions, making them increasingly volatile. The official recommendation is to leave the ammunition in place and detonate it on site, a method that, unfortunately, risks damaging the historical integrity of gun emplacements. In this complex landscape, clarifying the legal status of unexploded ordnance and establishing ethical and moral guidelines for its removal is imperative. Micronesia, a non-participant in the armed conflict, finds itself burdened with the consequences of a war it didn't initiate. As custodians of the land, both belligerent parties bear a moral obligation to rehabilitate the war-torn terrain and, where possible, remove the remnants of unexploded ordnance that endanger both lives and heritage. Alaska. Deep within the remote Aleutian Islands, some 850 miles from Anchorage, Alaska, a field crew from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers from the Alaska District embarked on a daunting mission to clear and safely detonate remnants of munitions dating back to World War II. Their main focus was on Fort Glen, a long-abandoned military installation that had silently borne the scars of past conflicts. As the Department of Defense's formerly used defense sites program, this dedicated team embarked on summer field seasons in 2020 and 2021, resulting in the removal of over 2,200 discarded ammunition items and unexploded ordnance. Also, the team recovered 56,000 pounds of metallic debris from this desolate outpost. This formidable undertaking, beyond reducing risks to human health, also aimed to safeguard and preserve the fragile environment. Fort Glen, initially established under the guise of the Blair Fishpacking Company in late 1941, was one of the last military sites in Alaska where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers executed an environmental restoration project funded by the DoD Military Munitions Response Program. And during World War II, a portion of Umnak Island, home to Fort Glen, served as a munitions disposal site. However, not all ordnance was detonated, leaving behind a hazardous and unstable legacy. The removal process demanded meticulous planning and execution. The team inspected the surface area and underlying soil using planning grids and geophysical instruments to locate potentially dangerous remnants. Then, workers carefully unearthed most buried munitions by hand, placing them into large trenches for controlled explosions. If an item was deemed too risky to move, it was neutralized on the spot. In total, the team safely executed 6 consolidated detonations and 125 blow-in-place events. The project's complexity grew when the team discovered unexpected 500-pound bombs, along with some 20-pound ones. This development required swift adaptation and new strategies to ensure the safety of the team and the preservation of the site's historical integrity. Navigating the extreme weather and logistical challenges unique to the Aleutian Islands posed further difficulties. Sandwiched between the Bering Sea and the Pacific Ocean, Umnak Island, where Fort Glen is located, is accessible only by boat or aircraft. Severe weather, including fog, low cloud ceilings, precipitation, high winds, and clear skies, could arise simultaneously within a few miles. But despite these obstacles, the project's completion marked a significant contribution to the environmental cleanup and safety. Wales. The legacy of World War II continues to haunt Wales, as thousands of unexploded bombs from the conflict potentially still lurk beneath its landscape, prompting emergency services to respond to up to 20 callouts annually. These remnants of war pose a persistent danger to present-day communities. During the Second World War, Wales became a major battleground due to its industrial targets along the Bristol Channel and its undefended route to northwest England. Cardiff and Swansea were particularly significant targets, and the oil refinery at Llandarcy added to the strategic importance of these locations. However, the gaps in Welsh air defences made the country a backdoor for attacks on Liverpool, a far more critical target. And as a result, even more than 80 years later, the sight of Ministry of Defence vehicles responding to emergencies remains common in Wales. Approximately 10% of the German bombs dropped on Wales during the war failed to detonate. So given the 743 air raids that took place over the country, each containing between 5,000 and 30,000 devices, thousands of potentially unexploded bombs may still lie hidden beneath the surface. Today, the threat of unexploded World War II bombs still exists, necessitating ongoing vigilance and occasional callouts to deal with these dangerous relics of the past. Modern technology, including robots, now play a crucial role in bomb disposal. But the legacy of unexploded ordnance from World War II continues to remind Wales of the trials and tribulations of its wartime past. International agreements and organizations play a pivotal role in addressing the enduring threat of unexploded World War II munitions. The danger posed by these remnants of past conflicts extends beyond national borders, requiring a coordinated global effort. These international efforts foster cooperation, provide funding, and facilitate the sharing of best practices to mitigate the threat posed by wartime munitions. Technological advancements have significantly improved munitions detection and disposal. Robotics and remote control devices have emerged as crucial tools in identifying and neutralizing unexploded ordnance while minimizing risks to human operators. Ground-penetrating radar, metal detectors, and advanced imaging technologies enhance the precision and efficiency of munitions detection, allowing for safer and more effective clearance operations. The urgency to address the ongoing danger of unexploded World War II munitions cannot be overstated. These remnants of war continue to pose a significant threat to civilian populations, impede land use and development, and result in injuries and fatalities. The longer these munitions persist, the greater the human, environmental, and economic toll. The international community must remain committed to supporting affected countries, advancing detection and disposal technologies, and strengthening the legal frameworks that govern munitions use and clearance. Only through collective action can we hope to mitigate the enduring peril of unexploded World War II munitions and safeguard the well-being of current and future generations. Where else in the world do you believe unexploded munitions pose a threat? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.